What's happening, everyone? Al Siebes here, and today we're talking about this 2-unit that we picked up in South Chicago. And South Chicago works block by block. There can be a few blocks that are great for investment, and then there can be a few blocks where it's just really rough. A lot of criminal activity, gang activity, and this 2-unit we picked up for the grand price of $30,500, plus we paid a wholesaler an $11,000 fee. So we're in at about $40,000. It needed some work. We put about $40,000 into it, so all in at about $80,000. Both of those units rented for over $1,000 a month. Not bad, over $2,000 a month on an $80,000 investment. However, the problems all started when a gang moved into the property right next door and they set up operations on our front porch. They were running a drug operation and all kinds of problems, threatening our tenants who are single moms with kids, and it became a nightmare. So I got on the phone and I'm calling the police, right? What else are you gonna do? And the police were telling me there's only so much they could do. That the way the gang had these operations set up on the porch, that they had lookouts at the end of the block. And anytime the police come anywhere near that neighborhood or that block, the gang knew it. And by the time they got there, all the evidence was gone. The drugs were hidden, the guns were hidden. And so the police told me that there wasn't much they could do, which was insane. They said they could set up surveillance if I had a vacant unit, but I didn't have a vacant unit. Both my units were occupied. So I took things into my own hands and I called my contractor, Juan. God bless him, Juan. He comes out and I tell him, look, Juan, let's build a fence around the front of the property. And while you're building the fence, I want you to pay attention to where they're hiding these guns or the drugs or whatever when the police show up.
Aló, buenas tardes.
Hey, Juan, what's happening? It's Alan.
Alan, ¿qué onda, hermano? ¿Cómo estás?
Hey, man, buenos dias. Hey, I need a favor. You know that 2-unit we just picked up?
Sí, ajá.
I need to build a fence around the front. Apparently there's this gang hanging out on the front porch and they're dealing drugs and doing naughty stuff, and I've called the police, but the police say by the time they get there, all the guns are hidden, the drugs are hidden. What I want to do is I want to build this fence, and if you could do me a huge favor, and while you're building the fence, I want you to just kind of keep an eye on these guys and let me know where they're hiding all this stuff when the police come. Is that cool?
You know what? I seen those guys, and they put El Chapo under las gradas, under the stairs, and they put their drogas, and they put their pistolas, their cohetes under the stairs. Hey, Alan, I do anything for you, hermano. I do anything for you, okay? I take pictures with my new iPhone. I send it to you, okay?
Okay, man.
¿Está bien?
Yeah, that'll be perfect. And so Juan's building this fence, and he sees this whole thing go down where they start hiding all these guns and drug paraphernalia and everything in the trash cans on the side of the house. And so I tell the police that's what's going on, and it just gets lost. I mean, the police were overwhelmed. Chicago is a busy place, and I just was not getting anything done. And my concern was that the tenants were gonna move out. And if that happened, the gang would take over the entire property. They'd move inside, they'd break in and become squatters. And I didn't want that to happen. So what I did is I did some more research online, and I figured out that I could hire off-duty Chicago police officers. And this guy got a hold of, he said, look, for 50 bucks an hour, 4-hour minimum, you've got me. And the best thing about that is what I knew that the entire police force would back this guy up. Because if you're a police officer, whether you're on duty or off, you're a police officer. And so I had the entire Chicago PD at my disposal for 50 bucks an hour to take care of this problem. So I booked this guy. So I had him come and sit at the property Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. And first night, there was an arrest. He approached someone on the front porch running these gang operations, and they talked back to him, and he told them they were trespassing, and they got all smart with him, and he just arrested the guy on the spot. So that was first night. Second night, there was a shooting on the block, probably related to these gang operations that they were setting up, and there was 2 arrests. He arrested 2 people that night. And then by third night, dead quiet. No activity, no gang, nothing. And we had that problem figured out. Remember, I'm still in this situation. My investor on the property is freaking out. And I'll talk about that in other videos. I raised the money to do this deal with an investor. I didn't use any of my own money, but I did the work. and we pulled this together, and my investor's freaking out. And I told him, I said, don't worry, I'm gonna get us through this. And we ended up selling that property for a bit more than we bought it. We sold it for $90,000. But you know, I don't know looking back if it was all worth it, to be honest. That kind of stress is not worth it, and I wouldn't do that again. But we got out of the deal, my investor got paid his money and a return, and we moved on from that property. Thank God. And check out my playlist. I'm gonna run a bunch of these on my rental property nightmare situations where you can learn from some of the experiences that I've gone through. Thanks for listening.